You police officers out there who know you have co-workers out there in your ranks, and you know they ain't worth shit, and you still walk out your office every single day to patrol the streets instead of patrolling your own motherfucking precinct. You're just as guilty. I don't give a fuck what color you are. You're just as guilty. A situation where Botham Jean or James, something like that, ended up getting shot and killed and murdered in his own apartment by a racist, non-qualified white police officer by the name of Amy or Amber Guyger in the state of Texas, right? Where she only got sentenced to 10 years for murder, right? Murder a guy in his own home. Her claim was, she didn't know she was in the wrong apartment, which makes no sense because she seen the red floor mat before she opened the door. Once she went into the house should have been laid out completely different from her own house. I know they don't have the same exact furniture and the same exact pictures on the wall, the same exact TV. You know what I mean? So when he had to be sitting down somewhere. So wherever he was sitting down at, should have gave her indication like, hey, that's not my couch. If she was that spooked when she first got in there, she would have looked around, making sure that no one else inside of their apartment with her or with him, or in her apartment, as she thought it was her apartment anyway. So a few weeks later, you had the situation where the witness in the case ended up getting murdered in the parking lot, and they ended up shooting him in the face or in the mouth and in the chest, and they try to say it was a drug deal gone bad, but no one's really buying that at all. I don't even think they're buying that shit. If they push it out enough, you're gonna have those people out here who kind of just take what the government and this system pushes out and takes it, without even questioning it. I don't understand that shit. But at the end of the day, that's what kind of world we live in, where we got people who just listen to these people who have clearly shown that they do not tell the truth at all, right? But they still believe him. And so, he was shot in the chest and in the mouth, which is a way of saying, hey, anyone who dares to speak out against the police department or to speak truth against the system, we will silence you. So they shot him in the mouth. Then they shot him in the chest to say to those who are still left behind, hey, anyone who feels they are courageous or bold enough to do what this young man did, we will take your heart out. We basically shot the heart to basically snuff out or to silence courage for those who are still behind, to put fear in people, basically, right? When Amber Guyger case took place, it happened on 9/6. There are some people out here who are saying that it could have happened during a ritual or initiation. And so if you think about 9/6, September 6, 9/6, so that's a reversal right there, right? Then you had a black guy get killed by a white woman, right? Now, if you fast forward to just what happened over here in Fort Worth, Texas, where Anita Jefferson, I believe her name is, or something like that, Miss Jefferson, I know her last name is Jefferson. She was shot and killed in her home at 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 actually, on 11/12, 112. I almost thought it was a portal because it almost happened on 11/11, right? But it happened on 11/12 at 2:30 in the morning. But at the same time, you know what I mean? Now it's a white man killing a black woman in her home. So that's like 6-9 reversal. Like, so could this been a ritual? Could it been some type of thing? I'm trying to figure out how I can connect this to Saturn, because I know it's connected to Saturn in some kind of way. But at the end of the day, I have to do a little bit more introspecting on finding how unrelated dots are connected in this. But I definitely know there's something fucked up about it. I definitely know that. And I also know that this police officer in this new case, he didn't, based off what police are saying, based off the police report, because I don't know, I ain't gonna say I know, based off what the police were saying, he did not acknowledge he was the police. But, think about it, man. Like, why the fuck was this nigga out here? Yeah, and I'm saying nigga because he's ignorant. And the word nigga don't just apply to black people, all right? So it don't apply to black people, period, to be honest. At the same time, why did this motherfucker go out there with a gun? I know the black guy, his neighbor, or the black neighbor who called, he really feels bad about calling. He kind of should be feeling bad because of what just took place with the Botham case. You know, he shouldn't have called. He shouldn't have called. Like, not in this time, right now. You know, but you know, different community might have different, police and stuff like that. So I can't really fault him for that. He's gonna have to eat with that. He's gonna have to live with that on his own soul for a while until he can kind of, cope with that. But at the end of the day, like he said, I didn't call and say it was a burglar. I didn't call and say there was trouble. I just said, hey, I need to go check up on my neighbor. So why did this motherfucker have the gun out? He seen 2 doors open. Why didn't he knock on the door until somebody came in or open the door? They have no problem going into people's houses, obviously. Why he walking around the house with a gun pulled out at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning? You got a damn flashlight in somebody's window at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're spooked because they opened up their window? Come on now. And if this motherfucker get off for any way possible, get off the same way that this Amber woman got off, there really will be some smoke in the city. I can feel it. I mean, that's what they kind of want anyway. But at the end of the day, like the people in that community were saying, when is talking enough? We as a community, we complain about, what's going on, and then 2 weeks later we kind of like let that shit die down. We really should just stop participating with the fucking system. We really should just abort. It's no different from you got someone in your life who's always doing something for you and you don't appreciate them, and then it's not until they say, hey, you know what, this motherfucker just using me, and they just quit fucking with you, and then all of a sudden you realize what kind of situation you're in. And that's the kind of situation America has. People come out talking about make America great again. When the fuck was this motherfucker place great? Look at the history of the police. Since the history of police has even started, since the police department was even created, they haven't had a good relationship with people of color. So when you want to go around saying make America great again, motherfucker, make the police great for the first time. You know what I mean? We got all these fake ass polices out here. You got these polices who are part of a fraternity. Y'all know y'all got bad people in your ranks. You know you got bad people in your ranks, and you ain't saying shit about it. You ain't advocating. You ain't protesting your own motherfucking job. You standing behind these people, so you just as bad. Look, I used to work in healthcare, so I already know about neglecting. I know all about neglect. And the thing about neglect is, if you working with a coworker in the home healthcare field, and that coworker is neglecting or abusing or doing something to the client that they're not supposed to be doing, and you sit there and you watch that happen, you don't say shit about it, once the report comes out, you're just as guilty. So you police officers out there who know you have co-workers out there in your ranks, and you know they ain't worth shit, and you still walk out your office every single day to patrol the streets instead of patrolling your own motherfucking precinct, you're just as guilty. I don't give a fuck what color you are. You're just as guilty. You got the blood on your hands. Even if you don't pull the trigger, you got the blood still in your hand. It's no different from paying taxes at all. Everyone who has a job got to pay taxes. Then you also are paying for war to be funded, so you got blood on your hand as well, right? It is what it is. It is what it is.
Life's a thought that stays flashing. Hit the gas straight, smashed it, but never have I love these fake asses. They live, so I gotta ask you, are you down with the cashless? Quick to put the dollar in the casket. Looking at the sunken places getting critical. The water's overrun by these bankers and criminals. With millions becoming leaders, this is despicable. Got into the psyche, attacked the subliminal, making sure continent stays at the minimal. Keeping us divided together, invincible. This is pivotal, according to the medicals. Call it the minority or the originals. Became the last dragon, you see the golden glow. I spit the fire, I'm so cold you think I'm Eskimo. But since the light is taking me higher, I see my role burns in the night. My DNA is alien, his flesh is a tire.